Hi. Today we're telling an exciting, humorous story. Ready? Jim was too distressed to speak, urging Dashin to save his daughter quickly. The werewolf was already after her, so Dashin carried Jim back to the lair. He asked genius Xiao Shuai to show his intellect and locate Xiaoma's phone. Xiao Shuai easily found her. The werewolf called Dashin, claiming he found Xiaomai, saying he was sent by the school on urgent business. He led Xiaomai to a secluded area. She soon noticed something amiss. The werewolf revealed himself, but Dashin arrived and punched him away. Just as he turned to let his daughter leave, the werewolf attacked Dashin from behind. Dashin countered with several moves and sent it flying hundreds of meters with a punch. The werewolf tried to challenge Dashin, but was caught mid-air and hit with heavy punches. His skills didn't measure up here. It was a good thing Xiaomai intervened, or the werewolf might have ended up as Pancake. Dashin, having diminished the werewolf's powers, took Xiaomai. Meanwhile, Jim couldn't hold on. Dashin carried him to the old man, demanding the green serum or else. Reluctantly, the old man complied, and soon Jim woke up, deciding to test her superpowers, leading to quite the jaw-dropping surprise. She found her speed had dramatically increased, but she could also sense her powers fading. Suddenly, a bright light appeared ahead, and Jim dodged. Yet, she returned to her doorstep, finding her home encircled by the Phobo gang. She hurried back in to see Dashin preparing to flee with the kids. She approached us, but was ignored. Then, the light reappeared. Jim returned to his starting point, with nothing unusual at home. After work that day, he sped into the light again. This time she's at school, puzzled, when Xiao Hong ran over and talked to her. Xiao Hong showed no response. She followed him to a classroom where Xiao Shuai and Xiaomai were hiding, as if evading something. Just then, there was a knock at the door, and Xiao Hong urged them to hide quickly. Phobo was on the hunt for Dashin's family. Jim spotted that the calendar on the wall read the 31st. The light transported Jim back to work, where she asked her friend what day it was, only to hear it was the 29th. Jim finally realized she had sprinted. Jim sensed danger to her family and went to the police station. She sped through the light to the precinct, discovering their powers exposed. Petals, all were caught at home. She shared her future time travel ability. Ever since Jim injected the green serum, her powers had morphed. Now her speed could take her directly into the future. The next day, Jim zoomed into work, seeing news of her family and the run. Everything was happening right now, yet she couldn't properly control her speed. She had Xiao Shuai use his super brain to calculate time/distance. Jim sped to the future scene. There, she saw a dastardly plot against Xiao Hong, and Dashin slammed the thugs got airborne. Coincidentally, a camera caught that moment, and Jim realized Dashin had exposed their family. They must find Dashin to prevent him saving Xiao Hong. Dashin soon returned, and Jim told him what would happen. Hearing Xiao Hong was in danger, Dashin wouldn't stand by. Dashin set out, ignoring his wife. Xiao Hong spoke earnestly, unaware she was targeted. Just as he thought danger was gone, the intercom crackled with news of another planning to shoot Xiao Hong. Crowded as it was, he couldn't find, so he called Xiaomai. Using telepathy, she quickly located the criminal. She urged the thug to hand his weapon over peacefully to Xiaomai, leaving Dashin utterly flabbergasted. While the family was safe, Dashin was astonished by Xiaomai's powers. Turns out, Xiaomai could not only read minds, but also alter them. Just as the family was about to sit down for dinner, the lights went out. The boy went out to check the wires, only for a mysterious man to recognize his name and zap Xiao Shuai out cold with a shocking finger flick. Dashin angrily confronted the old man at work, ready to attack. But just then, the old man's body began to transform, and he suddenly fainted. Turns out, the old man had cancer 18 years ago and relied on green serum to survive, but it gave him no superpowers. He told Dashin Xiao Shuai may have been taken by the CEO for research, then gave the base location. Dashin's group arrived at the research base, surrounded by armed men. Jim sped up and knocked them out in 0.8. Just as they entered the corridor, a man blocked their path. He started shooting electricity at Dashin, but that little zap had absolutely no effect. Dashin forcefully redirected the electricity, and the man faced the music. As the three stepped into the elevator, thick smoke suddenly filled the air, and in no time, they were all knocked out cold. Superpowers briefly vanished. CEO coerced Xiao Shuai using family to reveal permanent power secret. For his family's safety, Xiao Shuai told the CEO permanent powers come only when detonated after the green serum. The CEO got the secret. After instructing his men to dispose of the family, he left. Just in time, the old man arrived to save Jim's family. He then located the room where Dashin was held, but his intent wasn't to rescue Dashin. He aimed to take him out to gain Jim's trust. As Jim dashed after the CEO, he was already making his getaway in a helicopter. The old man found Jim, told him Dashin was shot dead, and would care for his family. Jim tried to save him, but the old man stopped him. Just then, Dashin arrived, powers restored, and the old man knew he couldn't conceal the truth. In a fit of anger, Dashin sent the old man flying into a shipping container, just as the family rushed over for. However, the old man, with a wooden stick jabbed in his chest, stood up as if nothing had happened. It turned out he possessed immortality.